Then I had to sit and really think about what is going on in my life. I felt the weight of the world for me to do great. Hey, what's up 1428 family? It's Dondre Brown here to bring you more videos so that you can invest in your family, your finances, and your future. Today's video is really going to focus on budgeting in order to engage in the stock market. I know there are a lot of you that probably are saying, I wish I had money so that I can invest in the stock market. You can invest in the stock market. You just have to learn how to manage your money, right? A lot of people struggle with that. More than half in America struggle and live paycheck to paycheck because it's very hard to manage your money. It's not only the fact that the income coming in, it's how you manage it as well. So what I want to do is I want this video to focus on not only managing, but how can you also flip that money, put it in the stock market so that it can grow. So before I do that, I want you to ask yourself this. Do you know what a budget is? And if you do, when is the last time you budget? And what were some of the barriers and problems that you experienced when budgeting? Leave comments in the section at the bottom of this video because I want to be able to engage with you and provide you some free information that can help you become more of a better manager of your money. I've been managing my money for a few years now and I see the value in it. It was not easy. It was tough. It cost relationships. It cost a lot of different experiences for my life, but I've been in a space now where I recognize and appreciate the outcome of being able to manage my money better, right? I have more control over it. I can speak for my money because I tell people all the time, if you don't speak for your money, something or someone else will. So what I want to do is I want to jump into how we budget, right? Again, I always show you my phone. I try to be very transparent because engaging in the stock market, it takes transparency, right? There are a lot of people out there that's not willing to be transparent with you about their journey. But for me, I'm very open about my journey from ensuring that my finances increase, but also what that truly takes. It's not only about my money increasing, it's about me increasing, and again, in my family, my finances, and my future. So again, I always organize my apps, and if I get new apps, I try to sort them in these lines. If they don't go there, I'll just put them in my phone. But we'll click on the investment app soon. What I want you to do is think about budgeting, right? What do you use to budget? For me, I usually write my things down and then I'll transfer them to electronic format. But if you are a person that loves to write and just wants to engage in your planner, you should pull your planner out now. And if you like to do it or engage in your finances and manage your money through any electronic source or apps, pull that out as well. But what I want to do is I want to click on Excel. So for the purpose of this video, I'm giving you a mock budget. Some of these prices may be similar to what you have to pay or what you experience. Some of them don't, but the principles are going to be the same. So pay attention more to the principles as opposed to the price, right? Look at the principles and not the price. So let's say someone works and they receives about $2,600 a month. You're looking at about $15.75 an hour. But the key is they have income coming in, right? So when you have income coming in, it comes in the income section, right? That's money coming in. And then you have certain deductions. You can typically look at a pay stub and complete that information to see how much is being deducted from you. But again, your income is money coming in. If you look here, I have side hustles right under job, because side hustles come into play because they can help you fulfill certain gaps financially that you may not be able to anticipate if you budget in advance. That's the key word, right? Sometimes people use side hustle to be extremely reactionary. I need to go make 500 today, so I'm going to go do a side hustle for it. Instead of budgeting properly and then getting the 500 well before an emergency happens. But again, I'll break down certain ways and certain strategies that you can use side hustles. I also have a video that I put out that talks about how you can use side hustles and what side hustles that you could typically look into. I'll quickly go into some of the side hustles that I have. Yes, I have other jobs. I also have a business and a nonprofit, but I lean on side hustles to be able to fulfill some of the gaps and some of the financial goals that I have. So let's go back to the budget. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go back to the budget. So looking at this budget, one of the things I want you to understand is you have income and you have expenses. Income is money coming in. Expenses are money or is money coming out. So if you look here, you pay tithes, you have some of these typical expenses, food. You see that food and restaurant are split because you have your groceries and then you have fast food. 99% of the time, people are buying more fast food than groceries, right? They spend more money going out to eat than they do staying at home and eating, right? When you look at opportunities for you to cut some costs or trim some costs, you may want to look in the food area. When I coach people, they are typically spending a lot in that area, well beyond $250 and $150. You're looking at $450 to $500 easy, right? So those are areas where you can be critical if you ever need to save money. So let's keep going down the expenses column. Some of these expenses that can be controlled, meaning you can lower or eliminate them, right? Subscriptions, you can negotiate, eliminate, or just decide to partner up with someone and go half on, right? But then there are some bills where they're non-negotiable. You have to pay those, right? Phone bills, etc. But if you have certain add-ons and you pay extra fees on your phone bill, you might want to look at that. So once you have your income and your expenses, right? For you, it'll generate what you have remaining. So for this particular case, this person has about $2,600, but in expenses, they have about $24, right? So after the deductions, you see they have $437 that they need to cover. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, $437 that they need to cover, right? When it turns red, that means they owe the money. When it turns green, that means they have the money to save. If you also look here, I have emergency fund at $100. I always encourage people to have an emergency fund. What is emergency fund used for? An emergency, right? Or emergencies, right? If you start building that up at least $100 now per month, right? Once it builds up, emergency is going to happen. You're probably going to have to spend it down. But what that does is that gives you some cushion, and it allows you to manage your money without much of a headache or a heart attack, right? It puts you in a position where you can start to build financial behavior and not always living for the emergency, but preparing for the emergency. But again, I usually tell people if they can't really afford to put much in their emergency fund, because your emergency fund should be at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses, right? So in this case, their expenses are about $2,400. So you multiply that by 3 or 6, that's a good emergency fund to have. But what I wanted to also emphasize is our financial goals, right? So before, you have your income, you have your expenses, and then you have your goals, right? So for the purpose of this video, let's say your goal is to earn at least $600 a month and invest $100, right? That sounds pretty doable. So you'll be earning an extra $600 a month and then taking that $100 and putting it in the stock market per month. And then you want to be able to put $500 into your emergency fund, right? The great thing about goals is they should be very specific. So not only do you have them here, you should be adding in the do by, right? So when do you want 500 into your emergency fund? And when do you want this extra money to be able to save and put into the stock market? So if you're creating goals, make sure you put a deadline, right? So someone can hold you accountable, or you can hold yourself accountable. You can go back at the end of the month or end of a few months and say, did I accomplish that goal? And if not, what can I do to accomplish it? It's another form of accountability. So again, if this person's goal is to save about $600, then that's going to help them pay for the $437 that they have due, right? The key about budgeting, and write this down, commit this to memory, you have to budget at least a month before you get paid. And the reason why I say that is because a budget is a forecaster. It will help you learn and understand when a rainy day is coming, when it's going to snow, or even when emergency could possibly happen, right? So what you're able to do is plan for those things. Of course, you're not always going to be 100% accurate. I think people get frustrated with budgets because they try to budget and expect those numbers to be exactly what they are once they get paid or once bills are due. These are estimates over time so that you can look at the trends and your behavior, right? Financial literacy, financial management, personal finances is 80% behavior. It's what you do with your money typically. So once you see that trend, you're able to address it. It makes you more aware of your financial picture. But going back, so this person is trying to save at least or make at least $600, right? So what that means is for their side hustle, their goal should be to make at least $600, right? So if you go here in income, you put $600 in. There we go. You see now they have $162 left over, right? So each month, or at least for this month, before they even get paid, they know they need to make $600 in side hustle money, right? When you think about some of the side hustles, that is very doable in 30 days. You can literally break it down and make $150 a week, or you can make at least $300 in a week, depending on your side hustle. There are a lot of side hustles, especially your delivery apps such as groceries and food, that are paying a lot of tips, especially right now because that's in high demand looking at our pandemic. So that is very doable. So if you need more assistance with how to budget, please hit me up. Go to my website, www.1428fw.com. I can provide you assistance or leave comments. A lot of people are contacting me wanting how-to videos. Put them in the comment section. If you put it in the comment section, it leaves me a trail and I'll get back to you with some how-to videos. But what I want to do is flip that, right? So you just looked at your budget and you're like, man, okay, I have $100 left over to invest now. So what do I do with it? As I tell people, there are many different ways to invest. These are some of the ways that I invest, but for the purpose of this video, we'll focus more on Robinhood. So one of the ways you can invest is invest in penny stocks, right? So you take your side hustle, you put it in penny stocks, and you start to build what they call position, right? I'm going to help you learn some of the lingo because within anything that we're learning there's a different language, right? So they want you to build your position. And what that essentially means is, if I click on this share right here, you see the word position and then shares is right under it. You're essentially trying to buy shares. Some people should say that, or would say that you need about 100 shares or build your position to 100, or they'll say you need 125, 150, whatever the case is. But if you ever hear someone say build out your position, they're saying you need to purchase more shares of that stock, right? So you're building your position, and then you're considering should you invest in penny stocks. Penny stocks are not stocks that are a penny, right? There's so many definitions that people put out there, but penny stocks are typically stocks that are less than $10 or $7, right? There's typically a range, but they are stocks that are very cheap on the onset, and they have the potential to grow. They also have the potential to decrease, right? So these are very volatile stocks. So you have to make sure you do your due diligence and some research when you're investing in those stocks, right? The other piece is this, that I know for some people, they're like, doing research. You can follow people on YouTube. You can also look at certain websites that can help you. But the key is this. I always tell people, trust but verify. Right? No one is a fortune teller and can tell you everything about the stock market. A lot of these things are looking at trends over time, looking at data, analysis and research, and making the best decision from that. So there is no guru out here that knows everything about the stock market. Some people put in money and get a lot of money. Some people lose a lot of money, right? The key is this. You want to be able to build that financial stability to know what are secure stocks to invest in, right? So I say start small. If you want to, start in penny stocks. If you want to, start it with stocks that you typically wear. So if you wear Nike, why not start to invest in Nike? But the main piece is start to gain education. When you invest in an app like Robinhood, a lot of your investment decisions is on you. So you have to decide what's best for you. But going back to penny stocks, again, these stocks are about $10 or less, right? The other thing that you should know about penny stocks, is you want to invest in them as early as possible, right? That's also known as early entry. You can get in early, get in low, and then watch it climb, and then buy have the profit in the difference. So if you start buying a penny stock at $1 and increases to like $9, that's $8 per share that you receive. So if your position is 100, that's $800 that you can receive. So again, I'll provide more information about penny stocks. I just wanted to show you how budgeting can link itself to engaging in the stock market. So even if you have $0 today, you can budget, make sure you get some money, and then start to engage in the stock market even more. But even if you have $0, what you can do is you can click on my link in the video, get you a free share. I get a free share, you get a free share, help the channel out, and then I can help you learn more about investing. Hopefully you like this video. I know this was a long one, but it had to be long because this information is really important, especially if you want to engage in the market. Please share it with people. I know you may be talking to some family about investing or may be scared to invest. Hopefully this video will give you some confidence. If it hasn't, leave in the comment section some of the things you want me to cover and I'll make sure to cover it. Again, hopefully you like this video. I'll talk to you later. Peace.